Hi everyone, Jesse here with Canine Perspective, and we're back with Bane for the muzzle training. We've been doing this for about 3 days now. We did it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and looking to start progressing it. I'm going to start messing with the straps a bit to get him used to the movement around his ears and stuff like that. He does have some ear sensitivity. And then I'm not going to fully clasp the muzzle yet. Of course, we're still just getting him comfortable. But we're already starting to progress into the next stage. So he's had about 12 reps altogether because we're doing 4 a day. And this is not a food-driven dog. What looks like food drive is really just him hungry, which is why we're just using his daily meal. We're not using treats or anything like that because, again, he has a kidney stone. He's on a very bland diet with medication. So personally, when I muzzle train, I don't do treats or anything like that. I do the dog's daily meal, and if they turn their nose to the muzzle or anything like that, then they just don't eat for the day. We've not seen that from Bane. He's kept us hungry, because we exercise him regularly. They go on long walks. They do a lot of training, so he's burning a lot of calories. So it's keeping him hungry. It's against instinct for a dog to starve themselves to death. So we're using that to our advantage. So I'm going to start the process here. Good. Good. So I'm not worried about clasping anything. Just getting him used to the strap, again, going around his ears, the movement and everything. Good. We switched from aluminum to these 13, I believe this, not 13, this is like a 1 gallon Ziploc bag, which works really well with the size 6 muzzle here. It's softer because he does have a sensitive nose up on top. You can see there's a bit of redness, and that's from just how hard he pushes into the muzzle. And with the aluminum, it'll start to scratch him up. So we switched to Ziploc bags, and that's been doing better. I like it a lot because we'll put this in for the day, we'll do our reps, and at the end of the day, we'll throw it away and replace it with a new one for the next day. Good. The aluminum was kind of hard because if you pushed into it too hard or too rough, he was tearing through the aluminum as well. So these Ziploc bags wrapped around work really well. Good. Just getting used to messing around. Excellent. So like if you have a dog that's sensitive with the ears and stuff, if you're to hear growling, like you don't want to push to the next stage, you want to keep it where you're at and do that, again, several times a day, several rates of reinforcement throughout those sessions until you start to hear a decline, or there should be less and less growling as the dog starts to associate that it's not a bad thing. And I decided to use my hand just because it's faster for the reload process. Good. You do want to be careful with how long you keep your dog's face in the muzzle because it is plastic. Good. That's the last of the meal. Got the strap. Grab it the other side, just hold it for a second. Good. All set. Very good. So that's the first of today's training sessions. Attaboy. And that's the next step. Again, we took a few days, several reps a day. Before now moving to this next stage of doing behind the ears. We'll do this for a couple more days, and then I'll do another video where how I progress it from there. So you get a good, clear picture of the process. Again, some dogs progress very quickly. You can get this done within a week. Other dogs take months. There's some dogs that are very stubborn and they won't eat for days, and you're using that hunger and the rule of you're only going to get food from this muzzle to your advantage, and at some point they're going to break down and they're going to want to eat, and they're going to eat from the muzzle, and then you're able to progress from there. Every case is different, but I found this to be the most effective way. I don't like using treats or anything extra like chicken or stuff like that. Just take the dog's daily food. If you're feeding your dog raw, again, you can use a Ziploc and just portion out the raw and putting it in the bag, kibble, wet food, what have you. But just use your dog's regular dietary meal for the day. Don't worry about trying to make it uber positive with all these treats and stuff, because a lot of times if the dog's still getting the nutrition, they'll turn their nose to the muzzle and they'll say, like, I don't care about the treats, because it's not part of it's not their actual meal that they need to survive. So that's it for today's session. I'm Jesse with Canine Perspective, and thank you for watching.